Down the middle, James, the lateral to the corner of the end zone. Can you believe that?
Artest looking, gets it to Bryant. Bryant dribbling, has to put it up with the buzzer. Banks it in! Oh, he banks in the three! 45, there goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game! Daniels for the win! Caught! It's gone! LSU does it!
On an 0-2 pitch, a missile. Fernando Tatis Jr. Electric.
Good morning, everybody, and sports fans from around the world. This is the Overtime Network. It is April 27th. We're here. We're back after a long break. We had Easter. We had a little weekend off. And now we're back at it again to talk about some sports today. I'm here with my co-host, Justin, our engineer and computer guy, Ian. How we all doing?
Good.
Too bad. Not too bad. Take two, huh?
Yeah. Following a trend, we always have to take a couple takes before we get to the main thing.
We got very short into this.
That was a good one, though. Man, we were on fire, too.
You're never going to hear it.
Yeah. All right, Ian, what do we have?
So let me just pull this up here. We have a few things we're going to talk about. We're going to start out with the UFL, some scores, some stats, and stuff like that. Then we'll jump to the Eubank Jr. versus Benn fight, which was a great one. And then some NFL draft stuff, where people went, what we like, what we didn't like, surprises, stuff like that. And then we can talk about various stuff if we have time.
A lot of stuff happened while we were gone. You know, the Masters, March Madness, National Championship, bunch of stuff. But we'll just kind of see where it goes. Well, the draft, though, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of storylines with the draft. So I think that's going to take a lot of our time today.
Yeah, and it was really nice for it to be back to kind of about college football again. I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen anything like relevant for college football except for like transfer portal stuff. But yeah, that's kind of been getting a little old. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Just not nonstop transfer talk. Yeah,
the transfer portal just closed this last Friday at midnight.
Oh yeah, I did see a tweet or a comment from Ryan Day, and he said he like pounded a beer at midnight after the transfer portal.
Did Oregon lose anybody that you know of?
I think we lost a few people, but not really anybody that was like too meaningful. I think maybe kids that just wanted to play immediately. You know,
I think Boise State only lost like one or two like big names, but like not like, you know, any like skill position players like running backs, wide receivers. They're still pretty much a complete team, which is good, but they did lose 3. But the ones that everybody was watching out for them to lose, they didn't lose. So
that's good.
It was pretty good. I don't know if do you know if there were any mass exodus from any team?
I mean, except all Tennessee, all that.
Oh yeah, we can talk about Tennessee. That whole Nico situation. Add that to the board of things we're going to talk about.
But have you seen all the stuff they're trying to blame, like Dan Lanning for telling Coach Heupel that Nico was leaving, and everybody's like, "Man, he's a snitch." It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I did see that.
You're supposed to watch out for each other.
Yeah, how that shows that he's a better person because he's not. He could have taken advantage of that, taken Nico, and then just screwed Heupel over, but he didn't do that.
Right.
And that's all they're doing is they're competing with each other. They're coaches. They're competing to keep their jobs, get paid, all that stuff. So he's actually doing a negative towards himself because Nico was he the number 1 rated prospect coming into college football? I think he was.
Or
number
like
2.
as like his high school high school.
I think he was the number 1. So that's the thing. If he's as good as he is, you know, I mean, look at what Dan Lanning did with Bo Nix. You know, Dylan Gabriel. You know,
Dylan.
He just. I feel like he's good. He's got a good system that quarterbacks can go in and they can fall right in and do well. But he was being, you know, like more honorable about it, and that whole thing is just weird. I mean, it was like a lot of it was his dad was orchestrating. Big Nick. Everybody keeps saying Big Nick.
Big what, Nick?
Big Nick.
Yeah, it looks like he was. Oh wait, that's as a transfer. As a prospect, he was second nationally, second QB. So yeah, number 1 out of California.
Yeah, and he's originally from California, so he went to UCLA. But I mean, they were wanting $4 million from Tennessee, and I think he ended up getting 1.1 like 2 or something.
Yeah, like 1.5 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a significant downgrade. And UCLA is not. They're not like a storied football like institution.
Wait,
like
he's from
Tennessee.
I mean, not in recent years, but I think they were good.
But not like Tennessee though. Not like those kinds of schools. You know, they've been on such a down. Other than when they had Chip Kelly for like those 2 years.
But even then, they were cheeks.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if UCLA was good again, but they haven't been good in like 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just you're at a school where the argument was they were trying to say that Tennessee hasn't put quarterbacks into the NFL successfully, but they just put in Hendon Hooker, who was right after Hendon Hooker.
Tennessee.
Joe Milton?
No. He was.
They had a bunch of
they
names.
Yes.
They had names, yeah.
Joe Milton? Was he from Tennessee?
Did he? I think he was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of the guy who's the quarterback for Indiana, but he is from
Penix?
No, what's his name? He's the quarterback for the Colts right now. Richardson.
Oh, Anthony. No, yeah, Florida.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, Anthony Richardson.
It was the dreads that kind of threw me off.
Let's
So
see, I can look up a previous right here. Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker. Yeah,
and I mean,
those were the ones.
Yeah, they're backups, but also I think
They had
Hendon Hooker
attributes though.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker, he had an injury. I know that and so he dropped a little in the draft, but he went to the Lions.
yeah,
The Lions have Jared Goff, and so right now, obviously, he's not going to get on the field. But Jared Goff is like, I feel like he's like 1 or 2 years away from, being traded out.
Who?
Jared Goff.
Oh, Jared.
Like, I think he's a good quarterback, but I also think he's up there in age where they start, oh, you had one bad season. We're going to trade you. We have a backup, and then we'll see how he does, and then we'll see if we need to get like a first-round pick or something. They've been doing well enough with him. The Lions as a whole team are good enough that if their quarterback's not the best, they make up for it. But
Right.
He is playing at a high level. And so I think he just got into a weird situation. If it was without Jared Goff, and it was like in between and they were just doing bad, I think he would be starting.
right.
But I'm sure he could get traded somewhere, though. Somebody will take him. I think he's got the skill
Yeah,
for sure. He was, when they would play LSU, they would rip them apart. Their tempo, their fast tempo that they would go, it was so fast. It was too much.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Hendon Hooker.
Yeah,
for
okay,
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a shame. Excuse me, when he got hurt because they were doing so good.
Yeah. I think they were on the fringe of going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That was with the 14 playoffs. I didn't really watch too much Tennessee. I don't even think LSU played Tennessee when Joe Milton was a starter that I remember. Was he a starter for 2 years or just one? Because isn't Nico been there for two
It looks
two
like
years.
he started 2 years and then probably he started some so the first year he started or he played 10 games and then he has like starter-ish stats. I don't let me see.
I just don't remember Joe Milton a lot.
He
when he was at
definitely
Tennessee.
started his last 2 years for sure, but the year before that looks like he had some starting time.
And he's on the Patriots right now, right?
No, he's on the. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the. Who are you talking about? Hendon Hooker?
No, Hendon Hooker's on the Lions.
Yeah.
Joe
We're talking
Joe
about.
Milton.
Yeah, I was just on Joe Milton. That's why I'm so confused. Okay, he started his last season.
So one season.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would make sense because, like LSU and Tennessee, they don't play every year.
and he was
So why I
But-
didn't see him.
a
He-
6-year guy.
He had that mega arm
Damn.
though, right? Like
Yeah.
the really fast
Mhm.
throws and stuff.
And he's just a backup right now to Drake May on the Patriots. Because
No, he's on the Cowboys now.
he's on the Cowboys now?
Yep.
Oh, shit. You think it's time for them to
Move on.
move on from
Oh.
Dak Prescott?
F yeah, dude.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I
I think he it's weird because he'll have really good games, really good stats and stuff. So
Who, Dak?
yeah, so like
He's a choke, dude.
Yes,
And he gets hurt. He gets
for
hurt
sure.
a lot.
But like who are
big
you gonna
injuries.
replace him with? Someone that
They just
is
need
gonna
to
do worse?
They need to restart. They need to suck for a little bit.
Yeah, that's their downfall is they always played too well at the end, and then they don't get those good picks unless they trade it. And Jerry Jones, he's just so stubborn. He's not gonna give up a bunch of stuff for higher picks. He thinks he can evaluate.
It's my team.
He thinks he can evaluate talent better than like an actual football analyst.
Did you watch the short with that short clip with him and Jamie Foxx?
Can
you look it up?
Let's see. What's it? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, just look on YouTube.
What is it?
Jamie Foxx, and what's it? Jerry Jones.
Here it is.
Now blast it. He said 8.5 inch.
I can't hear it. Can you?
It's
Was
hard on this.
Was it just that quality?
So he was saying like the measurables of a player, and then he gets to his, what size.
Is that,
He's got
that
an
real?
H and a
I have
half.
no idea.
I don't know, man. Jerry Jones is he's a wild cat.
Anyway, that was a side thing. We need to get focused.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Should we jump into the since we have
in
the
that Eubank?
So let's do.
Yeah.
You want to do the Eubank stuff?
Yeah, we got it up. So
Okay.
Talk
Let's
about
look
that
at some of
first.
these highlights first.
But the real question is, does he have an 8.5 inch? You know what?
Who knows? We'll see. We'll
so
see.
did Eubank hit him with an egg at the end of the fight?
Oh, is this the egg guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit him with a lot of eggs. No, see, so this is kind of how it started out. Benn was aggressive, and Eubank was kind of staying back, counter-punching, throwing the jab. And then about the second half of the fight, it seemed like Eubank was tired. They were both tired, and then they just started swinging like that, but up close the whole fight.
How many rounds did it go?
All 12.
Oh.
All 12 rounds. It was a really good fight. Like, they're not the best boxers.
Yeah, they kind of look like spazzes.
Yeah. But yeah, this was the, I want to say after the 6th maybe round.
Ooh.
And I think that was a 6.
That he rolled right back out of that. Yeah, Eubank already looks like he's been hit quite a few times.
He's also
in the
more,
face.
he's more light skinned too, so it shows up more. But I think he gets
His eye is already swollen.
Yeah, for sure. And he gets a cut under the eye, I think, from an elbow, or not an elbow, a headbutt. And then at the end of the fight, his like right side of his face is like
Swollen.
pretty swollen.
You can tell they don't like each other.
Yeah.
It's like not even about form. It's just about hitting him as hard as they can.
Yes, especially towards the end, and also like a lot more the fact that they're fighting for their dad's names or whatever because they were rivals in the 90s. Like there was a lot of this. You can see they're exhausted, so they'll stop for a second, then start swinging because they're tired.
Round 11 of 12.
But it was like this the last at least 3 rounds.
12. Final round. Shit.
See, and then it looked like at one point if one landed enough big ones in a row, they would win. Either or. You know?
Yeah.
Look how exhausted they are.
Well, Eubank, he had to cut down quite a bit, didn't he?
He had to cut to 160. He's a 160 fighter. He's fought at 168 before, but he mainly fights at 160. He did miss by 0.05 of a pound.
Which is crazy because in that video I saw of him, he looked so malnourished and terrible.
He's also 35, almost 36, so it's harder the older you get.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. So that was an exciting fight.
Ooh, I want to watch that Whitaker guy. Have you seen him fight?
Yeah, he's kind of
He's a spaz, huh?
a bit. He He definitely won his rematch with the guy he got was a no contest. He fell out of the ring and then faked an injury to get out of it because I think he was losing.
The Ben Whitaker, Liam
But
Cameron?
he's like his attributes, his fighting style. It's exciting. It's just he acts like a cocky ass the whole time. Just watch. If this is an older,
Because he
fighter,
does like wind up punches.
he does
Huh?
like.
Ian's demonstrating his punches right now.
I look just like Ben Whitaker.
He's punching the air right now.
Oh, this might be the rematch. But look at his. Okay, watch. Look at his. Just his jab looks a lot stronger and faster than this fool.
Shot to the bows.
If this is the rematch, I don't remember it. He gets him in 2 rounds.
Oh, really? Was
Yeah.
that quick?
Yeah. So he does shit like that, and then the talking outside the ring. It's
Their press conference is pretty. Is he a goofball?
he's an ass.
Oh, he's an ass.
I get it. He's getting eyes and stuff, but
He's trying to. He's
So
trying
he's
to
like
bring the WWE
Shador.
in. Yeah.
no. Shador is
He's-
a lot more humble
this-
compared to him.
Damn, that's saying a lot.
And then Dion gets interviewed by ESPN, and he's like, "These kids, it's my money. It's not their money. They weren't raised like that. Or have you ever seen him talk like that?
Yeah.
He's like, when growing up, they weren't raised like that, flaunting shit. And it's like, okay, well, change now.
I kept seeing a bunch of videos on X popping up, and they're like, "What is everybody talking about? Shador Sanders has never showed anything that would make somebody say he's not humble." And it would be like a video of him running up to the crowd doing his little watch thing, or like talking shit to another player and like getting mad. He like was arguing with a ball boy, like getting in his face. It's just like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence over the last couple seasons of him being extremely arrogant, cocky. And sorry, on the field, you don't have enough to back it up. I don't care if your stats are amazing. Kellen Moore's stats were amazing. See, what round was he even drafted in, or was he undrafted?
Yeah, he went to the Lions.
He was drafted to the Lions with like
Mhm.
the 7th round or something,
Yeah, it was pretty late.
and he was like the winningest quarterback. Stats
Wait, who?
don't. Kellen Moore.
No, he was undrafted.
He was
Mm-hmm.
and signed with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's like there's more skilled players out there. It's not about that.
Anyway, yeah, Ben Whitaker looks like a good he's 27 though. They talk about him being like an up and comer. That's young, but
Yeah, it's kind
you
of
see
old.
these
I
like
feel
23,
to be
24 year olds that
up-and-comer.
are the
How old
up
is like Ryan Garcia and those guys?
yeah, about 23, 24 ish.
We should get together and watch that Canelo card. I think Ryan Garcia's on it, ain't he?
Is
He's
he?
playing.
Yeah, I'd be
he's
down.
fighting
When is it?
Devin Haney.
No. I think that's a different card. That's the like Times Square card where they're fighting in Times Square, not in the stadium, but outside. I think.
Who?
It's Ryan Garcia versus I think Rolly Romero. I want to say Devin Haney's on that as well though,
Mm-hmm.
and so is Teofimo Lopez, and they're fighting people, and they're like all in the same weight class, and they're doing a lot of like their publicity stuff, their interviews and stuff. They have them together, like there's a podcast with them together. They did a press conference. You should look up. I think it's on The Ring. The Ring's YouTube channel. They have. You can probably look at highlights of it, but Teofimo Lopez is playing the annoying bad guy.
How do you spell it? His name.
TEO.
T-E. There we go. Is it like press conference?
Go to. Keep going. Just do podcast or something after. Oh, where is it? He's like wearing. Yeah, the next one.
This
That
one?
Oh, it should be highlights because this is just gonna go through the whole thing. Can you look at? Yeah, that one. Do that one. You get the kind of vibe he's going for. It's not serious, but he's trying to be an ass. The thing is, I think all these people are fighting on that Times Square card.
Is Ryan Garcia on this podcast
Yes,
too?
yeah, he's right next. He's to his left, and he's been kind of quiet.
I have.
Where's their this? Where do they shoot this podcast? What's that state like that set?
I think it's the Ring Magazine's channel, so they probably have a set. Maybe that. No, I think that is.
Is that like a set, or is that like on like a balcony or something?
It might be a balcony.
That's pretty
in the
sick.
area where they're fighting.
You shouldn't be talking right now about beating asses. Because the man's to my left.
It's just how it is.
Oh, it's going back through it again. I was wondering why that part was funny.
But yeah, he's definitely playing up a character.
Yeah, that.
He knows he's not likable, but so he's playing to that.
Are they all roughly the same age, or
Roughly the same age, yeah. The Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Haney, and then Rolly Romero, I think, is as well. A couple of older guys there. That I think Teofimo's fighting an older guy, and then Haney is because Rolly Romero and Garcia are fighting each other. Anyway, let's get back on track to the UFL scores from week 4.
Yeah.
So I'll just start out from the top. The Showboats, the stinker of a team, lost to the Panthers 9-27. Do you have anything to say about that?
What was it? What was the matchup? Sorry, I was
Showboats versus. Oh, so you're not paying attention.
No, I was looking at this. Look at this.
Who was that?
Deontay Burnett. That was pretty good.
Sign him to the league. So the Showboats versus the Panthers, week 4, 9-27.
Yeah, the Showboats are not. They not it. They're having some like internal problems with like coaching and stuff. I think their coach just stepped away again, and they've been inconsistent.
Who's the coach?
I can't remember who their coach is. But it's changed like every year. I know it's the same coach from last year, but even then, last year he stepped away for a couple of games too, and then the interim came in. It's just not a good setup. They've moved that team around. You know, they were originally in Tampa and stuff, so I think they're just trying to get them to work, and it's just not working. But Michigan's one of the better teams for sure. They have a really good quarterback in Bryce Perkins, but they actually the Showboats played the Stallions on Friday and beat them, and the Stallions were, I think, the number 1 in the power rankings, which was surprising. The Stallions tried kicking a field goal, and the Memphis Showboats ran it back for a touchdown. It was pretty sick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did watch that.
Yeah, I
that
saw
was
that.
badass.
Yeah. So I mean, they finally got a win. I don't think they've had a win in like 11 games or something like that.
Oh, since last season?
Yeah, it's
So they're ass.
they're pretty bad.
They're asinonic.
But I mean, hey, they won this week. Last week was a typical showing of how they've been playing, though. I mean, their quarterback they did start this week though was a lot more mobile and consistent. I can't remember how his last name is. It's like Winn or something? Win or
This isn't letting me click the actual team.
let's see. Dresser Win.
Dresser?
Yeah.
Like the
Like-
the furniture?
Yeah, Dresser Win.
That sounds like a randomized name, a fake name.
He probably was. He's probably some random ass dude.
Okay, Dresser Win. He's my favorite player now.
And then what was the next game?
So the
happened?
Battlehawks versus the Renegades. The Battlehawks lost to the Renegades 30-15.
Yeah, that the Renegades are showing week in and week out that they're
One of the top.
Yeah, I thought so. It was kind of like a tie, 3-way tie with Birmingham, Arlington, and DC. But I'm starting to think that Arlington is probably the best. And right now, Arlington and DC are playing for the top spot in the league. in the top spot in the XFL conference. So we'll find out who it is. But Arlington's just they're just the most complete. I mean, they have Luis Perez, and you know he's the Spring King. He does well.
How old is he? He looks old as dirt.
I think he's only like 28 or something.
He looks
maybe
like the
30.
oldest 28-year-old I've ever seen.
Hey, he's got the weight.
He's seen a lot.
He's got he's been through like 4 spring leagues. What do you think? He's stressed out, man. He's just trying to make it. Hey, he signed to the Chargers in the offseason last year.
Yeah.
The Chargers.
But he just couldn't
Go
stay.
Chargers.
The Chokers.
The Chokers, yeah. But yeah, the Arlington's looking like the team they need to be, and that's who everybody's gonna have to watch out for, especially in the XFL conference. DC's gonna have a problem with them, especially if they lose this game, because they just lost last week to San Antonio. That was the other game. San Antonio hadn't won a game yet, and they beat DC, who was undefeated. So everybody's kind of starting to get their first loss or their first win, it seems like.
Okay.
So it was a pretty good week last week. What was the final score for the San Antonio DC game?
The San Antonio, the Brahmas, right?
Yeah.
This last week it was 24-18.
Yeah, it came down to the wire.
So wait, that's your guys' team,
Brahmas
and
finally
versus
got there.
Aaron's team.
Yeah, finally got a win. Jordan
How did
Teamu
the-
had a chance though. It was a pretty good game. Oh, it was Aaron Murray.
Oh, why does Aaron Murray looks younger than homeboy right there?
That's plastic surgery.
Is it?
Come on, does Aaron Murray look like the type to get plastic surgery?
He does. He
Yeah.
does.
But yeah,
So that's a natural 22-year-old.
I don't know. Maybe
And
he's
then-
maybe
he
he's
does
like
not look like he's
maybe he's
28.
45 and I'm just getting it wrong.
Fuck, could you imagine if you seen that guy in a bar? You'd probably be like, he'd just blend in.
Imagine if you had a daughter that was 28 and she brought him home. Like, what are you my age, man, or something?
Oh, fuck.
Let's see how old he is. And what was the other? There was one more. Houston played who?
So the Stallions played the Roughnecks. Emphasis on the rough because it was 23-16.
But the Roughnecks actually had I believe. So they've had 2 quarterbacks start. The first one got benched, and now he's a third string. The one from Oregon, can't remember his name, Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had another guy come
Brown?
in, Anthony Brown. And they had another guy come in, can't remember his name. He got hurt pretty bad. He was out, and then their backup, what's his name? He's a notable name. Wait, hold up. Luis Perez is 30 years old.
Yeah, he does not look like he's a year younger than me. Do I look as he looks way older than me, doesn't he?
I don't know, man. I always think I look way younger than
How
people
old
that are
are
my
you?
age.
31.
Oh. He's 30? Fuck yeah, he looks like
He looks like he's
35.
45. I think he
Or I
looks
mean,
like
like
he's
38.
45 at least.
He looks older than Tom Brady.
Again, plastic surgery.
That chiseled John.
Do you like how you look at the pictures of Tom Brady throughout the years? There's a point where he definitely looks like
Yeah. And you can tell he's gotten
Plasticky.
plastic surgery, especially since he's retired. But yeah, no, I can't remember his name. It's so hard to find people's like on the rosters and stuff because it changes weekly and they don't update it for some reason. But he came in, they balled out, but they weren't good enough to beat the Stallions. But the Stallion did just lose, so
The Stallions?
still owns.
Don Stallion.
you look at this week's stuff so far. It's just this game and oh wait, no, they're okay, so the Showboats and the Battlehawks won. Well, you already said that though, right?
Yeah, Showboats won, Battlehawks won.
Currently,
Battlehawks beat Michigan. Michigan is another one of those top teams.
Oh, we're not caught up, so I won't tell. Do you want me to tell you the score of this right now, or do you want to wait?
I'll just wait
Okay.
on this one. Who's currently? Do you have the numbers on who's currently leading in like receptions or
I have the stat
passing
leaders
yards and stuff
right
like that?
here.
I think
Oh,
Jacob
it
Sailors
auto-corrected to the UFC stat leaders.
Nice.
Nice.
Who's leading in the UFC right now?
Probably Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, he's running for president of Ireland, isn't he?
Something, yeah. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know. That dude's crazy. Literally, he's probably crazy now. all that
What's that?
testosterone and
What's with that sniffing he does all the time?
HGH.
What does that mean? He's always rubbing his nose. What does that mean? Anyway, passing leaders. Bryce Perkins, 927 passing yards.
Oh,
or 23.
really?
Not 27.
He's leading now?
Yeah. Passing touchdowns is Jordan Ta'amu, though. 6.
No, what's his real name?
The throwing Samoan.
Hold on. Do you remember the episode of King of the Hill where they have that the Polynesian player come to their team and like he's like really bad at school?
He's a running back, right?
Yeah, and they're like, what does the mom do? She's like, he comes home every day and he practices spelling, and it's just like one of those whiteboards with the magnetic letters. And then they're like, okay, yeah, he's trying. And then when they leave, he's like, we're going to state because it's all fake. He just doesn't care. But what was his name?
The Flying Hawaiian.
The Flying Hawaiian. That's a good episode. We got to watch that episode.
And then when Hank fakes his like the grade on his paper, he takes a shot of beer before he does it.
Yeah.
For all the viewers out there, Justin is a big time King of the Hill guy.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah, and Ian. They're all about the hill.
Oh man.
I'm surprised we don't have a button for like, you know, one of these.
God damn it, Bobby.
I know. We need
Get your
to.
finger out the ladybirds.
The ladybirds.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Who was that directed towards?
All of us.
Okay.
Because we
okay,
didn't put
okay.
out a show in forever.
Ouch.
Yeah.
We need that. You know how Chris does, ouch. We need
Yeah.
one of those buttons.
Well, we should get Chris to record that. So
And
we can
then
He
have
says that?
Yeah.
What the heck? Where'd he get it from?
He's just, it's just an exaggerated cartoon scream. He's just being goofy. But it's hilarious.
But he's
It's
really good
hilarious.
at it, yeah.
Yes. Along with, you're fired. We need that.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fired.
You know, from Cat in the Hat, when he yells, "You're fired," because the person touches or shakes his hand and he's a germaphobe.
Oh, you have to watch Cat in the Hat. Have you
No,
seen
I've
it?
seen it.
You have to
but
rewatch
I was like 7 years old. Come on now.
You're missing out as an
I
adult.
mean, I've watched it, but I don't remember.
I know, I'm
it.
saying as an
It's 'cause
adult.
it probably
Oh.
scared you, huh?
It was a little fucking odd.
Yeah.
What about when he cuts his tail and he says, "Son of a bitch"?
Shit, that stuff was wild back then.
Dude, that was like the end of Mike Myers.
Hold on, can we talk about something really quick? Last night, my wife was talking about a movie that she loves, that I said is a creepy movie, and it's a kids movie. You remember the Mirror Max or Mirror Mask one that she kept watching at the house, and it
Was
was
that
all,
the one with the cat?
Yes, it
Oh,
was
that-
weird
that
as
one's
hell,
weird
right?
as-
She was like, "I love that movie," and then she was saying how her niece loves it too, and I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's like the movie is like it's weird and creepy. It's like a fever dream."
I mean, I'm sure it's a good movie, but it's weird.
Yeah, she's like, "I love it." And I'm like, "I'll watch it next time I have a fever, so at least it makes sense to me." But
you should-
the whole thing, well, you know what? Real quick, we're gonna show him this because
You know what I watched not too long ago? A Goofy movie.
Oh, that movie's good.
That one's good.
So
And
it's
the-
extremely goofy.
Yeah, that's the one we watched. The one where he goes to college.
yeah, and the pizza on it looks so good.
It's all-
All right, after I show Dawson this, we'll jump into the draft before we keep getting distracted. Well, this is important.
It's fun though.
It is fun. It's fun to do bad things.
Smoking cigarettes with my friends over here. Or wait, no, smoking with cigarettes.
Smoking
With my friend.
stogies.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
All right, man. Tell me if this movie's kind of creepy for kids.
Wait, it is a kids movie?
Yes, this is a kids movie, and apparently, her brother brought it home. I think it was probably in one of those like dollar bins at like the store.
I think no, I'm pretty sure this has a following though.
Does it? Yeah, but I think they got it in like one of those things, and then they just liked it.
The Jim Henson Company.
We're watching the trailer for the movie Mirror Mask. If any of you guys
I'm
have
gonna
watched it, it's terrifying for a kid.
Ugh.
Hold on.
It's already creepy.
It's just the CGI cat.
Hold on. This quality is not good enough. You're not gonna be able to see it.
Is it Quinge?
Okay.
Oh,
So it was
Justin?
written by Neil Gaiman, who is... Okay, that makes sense.
Justin, is it Quinge?
It's Quinge. This Quinge. Fortnite is Quinge. 360p is not HD, but whatever.
What in the hell? Dude, this is like a freaking ayahuasca trip.
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah, look, it literally is.
Now imagine if you could actually see what it looked like.
Yeah, but was it is this a blurry? That's how you know this is one of those random ass movies because they don't even have a high definition trailer for it.
I think they're just censoring it for us because it's so scary.
Ew.
No, it makes sense though because it was written by Neil Gaiman, who does stuff this way. It makes sense.
It's like a Lemony Snicket book.
Here's the cat. Here's the cat. It's right there. Look.
Can I help you, dears? I saw the sign on the door. We're looking for a mask. We wondered if you could help us. Come in.
Oh, look at it. It's right there.
I was just about to have tea.
Imagine if Chihiro the podcat had that cat face.
You young people, it's all
I don't think you would have adopted her.
in your world. That's it.
What about that guy's face? What the heck? They're both creeping me out.
Ew, is that the cat too?
Yeah, with the mask.
Oh, it has
is
a
that the face. I'm confused.
Does it have a mask or a face?
Both?
Just a bit odd, silly. How many do you have? Oh.
There's two cats. Well, she's wearing a mask too. Yeah, no, this is weird. All right, I'm gonna stop watching it so we don't get nightmares.
Yeah, thanks.
That was creepy. All right, should we jump into a little draft talk?
Yeah, how do you guys want to go about
Hop
this?
right
You want to
in.
start from the top? Do you want to talk about hot topics? What do you want to do?
Go pull up the NFL draft tracker and you can go by each round.
Yeah,
Just
I
kinda
have
go.
that up.
You have it up.
I'm a professional, okay?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He's on it,
He's on it.
Justin.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Well, let's talk about what did we think about. First of all, the presentation of the draft this year. Were you guys impressed with it?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
With the not the presentation of the draft, I mean like the broadcasting.
Oh,
of
like the
draft.
commentary?
Yes.
Same old, same
Freaking
old every
ass.
year.
I don't know. I think it was
what did
pretty
you
bad
guys
this-
watch?
If I hear
What?
one more thing about
NFL
Colorado, my head might blow up.
NFL, you
It's
watched
gonna
on
explode.
Yeah, NFL Network. What did you watch it on, ESPN or NFL Network?
ESPN. But I mean, did you guys see Mel Kiper and those other guys
Yeah.
talking? I mean, I think it was the same thing.
Yeah. So Mel Kiper was on ESPN, right?
Couldn't
But
tell
it's
you.
just the head desk, wasn't it?
I don't know because the one I was watching had I believe Rich Eisen.
That was he's
Oh.
always NFL.
So, okay. Now I watched a different one.
What's his name? Colorado quarterback.
Oh,
I should remember his
Joe
name.
Clark?
Sanders.
Joe Klatt.
Or no, he didn't play quarterback.
He wasn't quarterback.
No, I think he's like a linebacker.
Sanders.
And yeah, Shador Sanders was commentating his own draft. Yeah,
You
no,
watched that?
the NFL Network one?
No, Shador's.
no.
Every time they showed Shador's room, nobody was in
Yeah,
there.
Justin was watching the live for 3 days straight.
Oh, was there a live for it? Really?
I assume so.
Yeah,
I saw
it
a lot of
was.
clips coming out of there, so I
But
assumed
there
it
was
a live.
they weren't even sitting in there, in that little with the two chairs,
the legendary
and
booth.
the two microphones that have been on the couch for like 4 days.
I saw a picture of his booth, and it had a Spirit Halloween banner in it because they're probably going to rent it out since it's not in use anymore.
Wait,
we can jump into the
Oh, brother, this guy
That was pretty
stinks!
Oh. Do you guys want to talk Shador first, or do you want to go down the draft board a little bit before?
I say, yeah, probably just get it out of the way and
because it's
just,
the biggest topic.
Yeah.
5th round.
5th round to the Browns,
And they got
Dylan Gabriel at what 94.
Which I think
you like Dylan Gabriel.
Yes, and I thought it was bullshit that they picked up Shador Sanders. I don't know, like there was something.
I think it was a pity
going on.
party.
Yes, did you see the Cleveland Browns war room when they drafted him? You know how they're usually like clapping and all that stuff. They didn't look excited.
But I seen a thing in the coach Stefanski. He just said that it wasn't timed right. But I think I think it was a charity pick, dude.
Yeah, I think so. You
don't have to pay him that much anyway. The later he goes, the better deal you get.
Yeah.
You think it's a prove it pick?
Yeah, I do think
definitely at the 5th round, you're gonna have to prove it as a quarterback.
Oh, like as Shador proving,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I think it was a little bit of a pity pick.
I think what the NFL GMs and scouts saw was that he has things he needs to work on the field and then personality wise, and all these ESPN commentators and stuff, they all worked with Dion. They love Dion, so they're just propping him up. They've been doing it since Colorado. They weren't doing it as much at Jackson State because they didn't play a lot of Jackson State games, but that's all they do is they prop him up. And so this narrative was created that like, oh, he's the best. He should be like the number 1 pick. There's nobody better. He's a franchise quarterback. He can go in and compete right away. But the people that really evaluate, and they don't always get stuff right, but they're a lot better than a lot of these people that are just commentating.
Mm-hmm.
If 32 teams are saying problems or have a problem, they're not taking you. It's not collusion. These teams do not care if you're the shittiest person in the world, if you're the best player in the world and you're going to make them money. They don't care.
They gave Deshaun Watson $300 million.
Exactly.
With fucking 30 or 40 sexual assault charges against him.
And so when they're always complaining, saying stuff like, oh, they're colluding, they don't want to see him do well, they hate Dion. They don't give a shit about that. He's not, and you and I have been talking about that all year. He's not that good. Like he's probably in the top, I'd say top 5 for college football last year statistically, but when you look at game
and when
footage,
it mattered,
yeah, when you actually look at like the games and who they were playing, Will Howard played better than he did.
Yeah, well, and too, it's like when the games really mattered, or I mean. Not even that, like right now. So, what am I trying to get at? So, like they never played anybody where it was like win or die, like everything on the line. They never had a game like that. They just won games. I mean, their best win was their first game against TCU 2 years ago. Yeah. Just because the fact that TCU went to the national championship last year and they beat the shit out of them. But it's like, dude, he's had like when they played Oregon, they were like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good game. They get blown out. Yep. Dude couldn't do shit. Yeah, his lines suck, but I mean, if you're that good, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, no. And then who else? They remember they were up big against Stanford, and then Stanford came back and beat them.
See, and then they lose pointless games.
Yeah, Stanford has not been a good, football team for 5-10 years now.
And then they lost to Kansas last year, right? When Kansas started getting hot again.
Yep. They also
Kansas shook the Big 12
They did.
up.
They helped Boise State a lot. Well, here's the thing with Colorado. When you look at who they played in the Big 12 last year, schedule-wise, they didn't play any of the teams that were good. They didn't play Arizona State. They didn't play BYU. They didn't play who else was out there? They didn't play Iowa State. Did they play?
They didn't play Arizona State.
Yeah, no, they didn't play those. Those were the 4, I'm pretty sure, that were all tied with Colorado because Colorado only
and they hadn't played each other? None
of them played each other. The only good team that they played that was also at the top of the league for a while was Kansas State, and they lost to Kansas State. They had that comeback win against Baylor. Baylor wasn't good last year. They beat Utah. Utah was not good last year. Who else did they... they played Texas Tech, and Texas Tech was good, but
they faded out.
Yeah, it was the same thing. And also, they were losing to Texas Tech. They played Arizona. Arizona was not a good team last year. So they didn't play anybody good. And then their non-conference games, North Dakota State, they barely beat them. They played Colorado State in that rivalry game. Colorado State sucked last year. Well, they didn't suck last year. They were actually pretty good, like Mountain West-wise. But compared to the year before, they just weren't the same team because that was the year they took them to overtime. But even then, the year before that, they took Colorado State, who is not like that great of a team, took them to overtime. Like, it's just at Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just they had an easy schedule, and the way things worked out in the Big 12, they ended up being like a part of that like four-way tie where if like West Virginia lost and this team won and this team lost, they would get into the Big 12 championship, and it didn't work out for them. But like Arizona, BYU, Iowa State, Kansas State, they were all really good, and they dodged them all. I mean, imagine like last year if Utah had been as good as they had been, they would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
So it's just they just had a weak. The Big 12 overall was kind of a weak conference. There was only like two teams that really were really good, and it was BYU and Arizona State.
Yeah.
That's it. And so,
but then it kind of comes back, like, if you just want to come back to reality, and it's like, man, talk about the biggest hype train for the last 2 years. Like, so annoying, cocky, freaking, oh yeah, we're going to kick everybody's ass, but they don't.
Well, and what I heard a lot, might have affected Shedor's overall draft, stock was he didn't work out at the combine. He didn't work out at the Senior Bowl. He didn't do anything on the Senior Bowl? I think he did he did the pro day at Colorado, but I don't think he did all of the drills. And then the interviews he did do, I guess he was kind of cocky. He's being arrogant like how he is. I was just listening to a video of John Canzano, who covered the Pac-12, and he's still covering like the new Pac-12 and all that stuff. He said when the Pac-12 was still together, the original one, and he was at Pac-12 Media Days, he interviewed, Cam Ward, who else? Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. He said Michael Penix Jr. was like the most like personable person. Cam Ward was like super professional. So Bo Nix, like the way they would talk, like they
present
had the
themselves really good and
presented themselves as like respectful, but had the confidence of like, I'm not better than everybody, but I know what I need to do. Leaders. And he said when he interviewed Shedeur Sanders, he was combative about a lot of stuff. He was on his phone. He was acting like he didn't need to be there.
But he hadn't proved anything.
Exactly. It was their first year.
That's just arrogance, and there's another word for it, but it's like he's living in his father's shadow and thinking that that's going to carry him all the way to the end, and then maybe it might work out.
Yeah. And so when John Canzano 2 years ago said that that's what he had to deal with, and then you start hearing NFL GMs and people inside saying that it was some of the worst interviews they've had, and then people coming out and saying like, oh, you know what, he can't be confident. He's good. He can be confident. No, he thinks he's better than everybody. That's the problem. They don't want somebody that comes into a locker room and can't lead a team because the team doesn't respect him. You can't, like, that's the difference with quarterbacks. You can be the biggest diva as a wide receiver, but you're not a leader typically.
But then at the end of the day, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, day in and day out, whether you're a diva or not. Because if you don't, you're just going to get kicked to the curb as a quarterback, and especially if your dad's the coach.
Yeah.
You can pretty much do whatever you want. But yeah, I think the biggest problem is just the media. Like they're all, it's like you said, they're all friends with Deion Sanders. They don't want to talk shit on his son because they don't want them to they don't want Deion to come after them.
Yeah.
Politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to speak the truth when everybody knows the truth. And didn't you say Dan Orlovsky kind of said something? And then he's like started like getting shit on and stuff.
He's starting to piece things together like, well, maybe, these teams keep skipping on him. I don't know exactly the context of what he was saying, but basically like maybe there is something they saw that we're not seeing and they weren't impressed. And then Deion like quoted and said, oh, Dan's a hater now. No, he's not a hater. People, you got to start figuring out, like, you can be in this like honeymoon phase where it's like, oh, everything's fine. But then once you start realizing the Browns have skipped on you twice, the Giants traded back in to pick twice, and they took another quarterback over you. And all the needy quarterback team play, like all these teams that need quarterbacks are not taking you, and then they start taking other quarterbacks like
Yeah, and then
Tyler
the
Shutt,
Browns
25-year-old quarterbacks.
It starts showing that there's a glaring issue, and it's not there's no vendetta against him. And maybe they are wanting to humble him, but I don't think it's like we're all going to collude together and not draft him to humble him. It's more of like, yeah, we'll take him, but we're not taking him with the first pick because he needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
He could be a problem. And a lot of people were saying they tried to spin it when Kellen didn't take him with the Saints. Oh, well, they think that Kellen as a head coach he's probably thinking he can't contain or handle a Shedeur Sanders type of energy in his locker room.
Yeah, but who would want that? That's poisonous in the locker room.
And one of the local sports person tweeted it back and said, so now this is Kellen's fault that he didn't get picked because he's not strong enough as a coach to handle a Shedeur Sanders. It's not the fact that he wanted a different quarterback. It's always everybody else's fault, not Shedeur's. Before the draft,
Yeah, because they have no accountability.
yeah, they don't have an agent. I heard that they do it all themselves. Like because that's what Dion used to do. So they didn't have an agent telling them maybe you should go back to college and maybe you need to be doing these events. Dion was telling them from January he won't be playing for this team or that team. He was saying he won't be playing for the Browns or we'll be choosing what team he plays for. I mean, you got to be.
That's just
you got to
telling
be a
every
Joe
team that
Burrow.
you don't want to be there.
I was just saying we should probably start getting into the next stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're good.
Just
Sorry.
for time reasons.
No, you're good. Yeah,
I know you guys are heated on Shedeur Sanders.
I'm just pretty excited for this next season to start because I'm done with the Colorado stuff. It's just
we'll see.
old.
We'll see how he does without his
boys.
Oh, what up,
his two sons and his adopted son.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
So who are you going to talk about?
Well, I was just gonna say we should probably go through at least the top 10, and then we can talk about
Skip 6 though, right, guys?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Obviously Cam Ward, number 1 to Tennessee, not a surprise.
I was really happy about that just because his story is crazy. He was a 0-star, and he came from Incarnate Word. And when he was at Washington State, I mean, he really helped. Washington State's kind of been up and down, and they had a really good season that year. The Pac-12 was strong that year, the last year of it.
But dude, the past two quarterbacks that have played at Wazoo are really high prospect transfers.
Like
with
John
John
Mateer.
Mateer.
Man, I wish he stayed.
Oh, he's fun to watch. John Mateer.
He's probably one of my favorite college quarterbacks right now. Yeah, I feel bad though for Cam Ward because the whole broadcasting thing, they kind of screwed him. They didn't play his highlight package. They didn't show his interview when he got interviewed after he got picked. They didn't do any of that because they were so busy talking about Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders next. And so that's the last thing I'll say on like that part of the like broadcast, how annoying they were. But I just thought that sucked for his story, how big of a deal it was. They really fumbled it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were calling him out on that, saying like that's just ridiculous. But he definitely deserves it, and I think he's going to be well. Did you see Warren Moon said had his number unretired and gave it to him?
I saw him walk in, and then I saw one of the comments on YouTube.
Probably don't even know who it is.
He's like, him pretending to know who that is.
No, I guess he does. I guess
I'm sure he does.
Was it a quarterback for Tennessee?
Yeah, Warren Moon.
Yeah, he was
the Oilers.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the joke is Cam Ward is young.
Yeah.
And he was probably not born.
Shit, he's younger than me, I think.
You're old.
Old balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I guess he had been in contact with him, and he asked him like if he'd be willing to let him wear his number 1, and he never like answered him. And then that's how
I hope he left him on red. That would.
Yeah. He probably. Oh man, why did I ask that question? Did you see? Oh. Well, when we get to Abdul Carter, do you guys want to talk about Travis Hunter?
Wait, hold on.
That whole.
I was gonna.
He got drafted
spice
by.
it up.
Oh.
Duval.
Anyway, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it was pretty predictable that he was going to go to Jacksonville.
Go ahead.
I mean, everybody's talking like, oh, he's going to play both sides. It's like, dude, there's no way possible that NFL team is going to let a player like miss out on other things with how much game preparation it takes to just play one position, because you got to be in all those meetings. You can't be in two places at once. So I think they might just throw him in just for the fandom points and stuff on defense, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to play him on offense.
Yeah, I think it was a bold step for Liam Cohen to do, because, you know, you're a first-year head coach. You're really, like, you traded up, you gave up some stuff to get him. And if you do use him on both sides because you're like, it's a splashy thing, it'll bring viewers. You know, if he's as good as he is, it would be a good gamble. But what if he's not? What if he gets hurt right away or he's average? I mean, you gave up, you know, picks for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think they could have, you know, gotten another person.
They should have got Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I feel like they had other places that, like,
have BTJ.
And that's the thing is, like, they were like, we drafted him as a wide receiver and a cornerback, but, you know, like you were saying, you have to prepare for one or the other, especially at the NFL level. So I feel like if they're really relying on that could be a bad look for him, and especially if the team doesn't do well, that could be one of the first things where it's like, this is a bad choice that he made. Shows he's not a head coach. I don't know.
Playing both sides at 180 whatever pounds.
They keep saying they're going to let him. I mean, they straight up said it. We think he can do it, and so that's another thing. If he's your second overall pick and he's injured and he has a career-ending injury because he's just so beat up, you know, 2 years into it, I mean, that's bad. That's a bad look, and they're gonna be like, yo, we paid him how much money, and you guys actually let him do this shit? Like, I think it's a gamble, but I guess we'll see. If he does do it, you know, good for him. Like, that'll be crazy if people are starting to be two-way players. That'll definitely change the way football is, but I just don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
All right. Abdul Carter, number 3 to the Giants.
I like that pick.
Yeah, me too.
Then would you say the top player? Would that be your number 1 player in this draft?
What do you mean?
Number 1 overall player.
Abdul Carter?
Yes. If you ranked all of them.
Oh, yeah. I there's definitely a good argument that Abdul Carter could have been number 1.
The damn podcat.
What is she messing with?
Bottle cap or something.
Is she drinking beer
From your
over there?
damn beers that you have all over the place.
They said he was the first edge since LT for the Giants, right?
Is he the one? Did he say he wanted to wear 56? LT's number?
No, I'm sure he's going to wear 11.
No, yeah, I know, but did you tell me that, Justin?
Oh, he does?
That he wants to wear 56?
Dang.
Nah.
He asked.
LT?
Or he said it on Michael Parsons' podcast. He was like, I'm thinking about wearing 56.
All casual?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
About him wearing 56? If he... Well, Lawrence Taylor already said no.
Yeah.
He said get another number, basically.
No,
like,
for sure. I know that part, but what do you think about him saying that?
I think I get it. Maybe there was something to do with, like, because the Warren Moon thing with Cam Ward. Maybe it was something like that. Maybe it's like an honor. I don't think he did it as like, I want that number, I'm going to take it. I think it was like an honor thing. But, you know, Lawrence Taylor doesn't want his number used.
Get a new number.
Yeah. But people were saying flip it, do 65. Or do something else. There's other players.
I hate that as a linebacker. 65.
91.
Yeah.
I like the 90s and the 50s.
Or he can be 11 like he did. I mean, it's a new era. You know, you don't have to do the same number styles that people did before.
He's like the second dude that's came out of Penn State that's worn 11. I swear every edge rusher from Penn State wears 11 because of Micah.
Yeah, he was a dog, dude. He was injured in
good.
the playoffs, and he was like rushing with one arm. Yeah, he's gonna be good. I'm really excited for that.
He's gonna have to have surgery, right? Or no?
Did he
is
already?
that a different flavor?
Did he
player
not already have surgery?
Oh, yeah, I think you might have. I think it was someone else that got confused.
Hey, Podcat, what are you doing? She's out of control right now.
Who went number 4?
Well, Justin, you might have a lot to say about this.
Will
Who was
Campbell
it? Will Campbell.
from LSU.
Mm-hmm.
The LSU.
Hey, dog.
He-
Go Tigers.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, I knew he was going to be a first round pick. I didn't think he was going to go that high though. I thought he was going to be a later first round pick. But I mean, LSU's been kind of up and down, but he guarded Jaden Daniels all those years
And this is
and
good
Garrett
for
Nussmeier. So
It's good for Drake May.
yeah,
A young.
I mean, you see how well Jaden Daniels did in their line. Yeah, he was mobile, but their line was good enough that he was still able to get all those passing yards and touchdowns that he passed.
Did you hear that Mike Vrabel put on pads and worked out with Will Campbell? Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I think it's a really good team that he's going to
Yeah.
for his position. For
I
sure.
think Mike Vrabel's gonna turn that place around because
Yeah.
I mean he came from there.
Oh yeah.
And then we have. So the thing about this. So Mason Graham, the DT from Michigan, this was potentially the first spot for. Well, potentially one of the spots early on for Shador, but they got Mason Graham. They also got. I think their next year's first from the Jags, and then their second round pick, which I think is good. They get some players they probably need, and then some future picks. They still get a top 5 pick. So
Yeah.
Man, I feel like the draft that Jeremiah Smith's gonna be in, he's gonna be number 1.
Yeah. When was the last time a receiver went number 1?
it might have been once ever. Oh, 3. So Irving Fryer, 1984, Dave Parks, 1964, and Keyshawn Johnson, 1996.
Yeah.
Dang. But I think he'll go number 1.
Who again? Who's
Who's in his draft
Jeremiah
class
Smith.
though?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's the draft class after this next
Yeah, so
one.
2027. I
So as long as there's no like big quarterbacks that blow up,
I'm
because
sure
I
there
mean
will.
like
I'm sure there will.
yeah, John
They're always
Mateer is next year. Arch Manning's next
Archer,
year.
I think Archer's gonna go number 1 no matter
don't-
what happens.
I mean, yeah, because of hype. But John Mateer, I think if he has a really good season, especially playing in the SEC at Oklahoma was dog shit last year. If Oklahoma's good this year and John Mateer, I think he's like the front runner for the Heisman. From watching him last year, he's really good. And he's going to have the same offensive coordinator. He's going to a better team that has more resources.
Going to Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. So,
I don't know, dude. Every time Arch stepped up to the plate, dude was clutch.
yeah.
He made shit happen.
He was dining when he stepped up to that plate.
Oh man,
I was
I'm excited to watch him play.
Yeah,
And I'm
so
not
am
really
I.
a big Texas guy, but
Yeah,
It's just-
well, I hope he's as good as they're saying, because I don't want it to turn into a Shador Sanders type thing where they're
it won't
just
because he's
hyping.
white. I'm just kidding,
God, yeah, that was the whole race thing on there too. For that was getting really
dude.
bad.
It was like a giant race bait, dude.
Yeah, well, I
Why-
get it. There's racism, but here's the thing: like 20 of the first round draft picks were black. So it's like when they were like they don't want to see a young black man do well. Cam Ward went number 1 overall. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's not that. It's just it's a skill thing and probably a personality thing.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing like bad about that. Like it's just that's just what it was. I mean,
yeah.
look at Dylan Gabriel. He went freaking
94 or
Yeah.
96, I think. So number 6.
Will Howard won
Yeah.
the national championship and went what round? Like the 6th round or 5th round?
Sean's happy about that.
Yeah, so it's just it doesn't matter like how great you do in college. There's a lot that goes into picking people. There's been people that are like they're not a first round pick and then they take them because they're like they have the tool. Anthony Richardson, he was really up and down and he went way too high, but because they thought he had the like skill set that if he can unlock what he like his raw. Yeah. So it's just there's just so much that goes into that stuff trying to get, the right fit.
Yeah.
All right, next 6th, Ashton Genty. Number 7, No, I'm just kidding. Okay, number 6, the Raiders pick Ashton Genty. I like him going high, but the Raiders.
So
I'm a Chargers fan, by the way.
I never thought he was going to go 6th. Like, I thought that was crazy.
I thought he was going to go in the teens.
I thought it was in the 20s.
Well, that was one of the spots, the Raiders, that they thought he could potentially go to. But I thought it was going to be 10 to the Bears.
I like the Raiders because of the fact that he's going to be close. Like, you know, we're going to get those games a lot more. And it's just more regional. Instead of him going to, like,
Especially
Jacksonville.
Like, they always air the Broncos here. And
Yeah. Also, if UNLV does join the Pac-12 and Boise State plays down there, you know, I'm sure he'll be going to those games.
Yeah.
You know, Alexander Madison was at this last one.
I think it's a good spot for him to do his thing, you know, no
I'm sure they're
questions
going to run
asked.
it a lot, too.
I like that Pete Carroll's the head coach. I think it's a good situation, and
But Pete Carroll, he's going to throw the ball on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl. So
When he
has Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty.
I heard Marshawn Lynch had a lot to do with Ashton going there. Because
Really?
they're really close.
Was it
now.
that podcast episode
Probably.
where what did he say?
He run like a real African.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch is crazy.
Wait.
Oh, brother, this
We need
guy
some more
stinks.
We do.
Okay. Do you have more to say?
Oh, just really quick. Isn't it crazy that this last season for Genty, the biggest obstacles in the conference were UNLV, and he had to go down there, you know, play UNLV, and that game was like a big determining factor midway through the season, and they beat him again. And then now he's going and he's going to play full time in that stadium. Like, that's going to be his home.
Yeah.
It's just
So he's
weird.
going to be like Aaron Rodgers. I own you. Huh.
Yeah. Well, it's like, he won the Mountain West Championship the year before in that stadium, beat UNLV midway through the season, and like they were saying like the group of 5 game of the year, and then, you know, beat them again in the Mountain West Championship, but in home, and now he's going to go play in Las Vegas. So I think that's just kind of wild.
I think we should kind of power through these next ones. We are on a time crunch.
That's fine.
So,
Just throw out the ones that you
Armand Membo, number 7, OT for the Jets. Ted McMillan to the Panthers. I like that
I
one.
like that. Yeah.
Where's he from?
California. Or he played at Arizona, but he's from California. I think he's from similar areas as Bryce Young too.
We got Kelvin Banks going to an OT going to the Saints, and then this one I thought that Tyler Warren would have gone before him, but Colston Loveland 10th overall.
And he's from Gooding,
Yes,
Idaho.
that I completely forgot that he was from
I
there.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I've drinking some beers with his brother.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you've hung out with so many of these
NFL players.
Yeah, these NFL.
I never hung out with him. Never hung out
But
with him.
You
but
have
you're-
NFL ties.
Yeah,
though.
you're connected to like everybody that's from any of these small
No,
ass
well,
towns.
his
that goes
brother-
to the
Do you
NFL.
know?
Yeah.
Do you know Tom Brady's cousin?
No.
Okay.
He's probably like, I know the long snapper for the Buffalo Bills. You know, his aunt was my dance teacher.
I just know a lot of people that know a lot of people.
The Boise, or not Boise, the small cities around Boise do have a lot of like pretty good like untapped talent, and like go to like Boise State or like him. He went to Michigan. We usually don't get a lot of big players like that go to like Michigan, but I've noticed a lot of them will be getting targeted by Michigan. Like that one dude that he committed to Oregon.
From Pocatello?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was also like, it was between Boise State, Michigan, and Oregon. And so it's just like, I think Michigan just knows like if we have a good team player here, they want to take him. But we've had some pretty good players from around these little like towns.
Mm-hmm.
They just know how to produce them. They just got to unlock all their full potential.
Yeah, either they got to get away from here and play high school somewhere else, or just ball out and hopefully all the cards match up, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I'll just go through a couple. One I liked a lot, Omarion Hampton to the Chargers. Not just because I'm a Chargers fan, but I like Omarion Hampton a lot.
Yeah.
In that situation he's going to. Surprised though, I thought that because they got Najee Harris, they weren't. That's the one I wanted. If it wasn't Genty, obviously, but that's the one pick I wanted.
But then you can kind of dual thread it. With
Yeah,
both
that's
of
what
them.
I
They might
think they
run
wanna
it
do.
run it a bunch. would use both. They could get some good numbers there. Another one.
That was a good pass.
The Giants trading up. Everyone thought it was going to be Shador. It was Jackson Dart.
I like it.
I do think Jackson Dart. I remember we were talking about it in earlier this year, the podcast, saying Jackson Dart was a dark horse.
Yeah.
That's all you kept hearing. I'm not surprised. I do think he is a lot better than they want to give him credit for, because it's a competition between him and Shador in that situation. If it wasn't, I don't think people would give a shit. I think they'd probably be like, oh, he's good, crazy pick, whatever. But like, they were almost talking down on him because of the fact that he was taking over Shador. But he played at Ole Miss. He played in the SEC. He played well. He broke records. He does deserve it. He played better competition.
Yeah.
Closer competition to the NFL than the Big 12. That's just how it is.
Okay, couple more. I like Quinshon Judkins to the Browns in the second round.
Yeah.
Again, and then a teammate, Travion Henderson, to the Patriots. That was a good one. This is Tyler. How do you say it? Show?
Tyler Shuck.
Shuck. Where's the C?
That's all I kept hearing people say is like Shuck.
25-year-old.
Shuck.
25-year-old rookie quarterback. Is that the future of the Saints?
I don't know.
He sucks.
Did he have that one weird throw?
Yeah, I've also heard that they could potentially get another quarterback next year. But who knows? Kellen he's every quarterback he's had has done a lot better. So maybe he sees something in him, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm hoping that they left options open, that maybe next year they can get like John Mateer or Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning, somebody like that. But who knows? Maybe he's the next Tom Brady. It was weird. I will say him going over Shador Sanders was very odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Shador Sanders should have gone over him. I think he is better.
No team wanted the baggage that came with that pick.
But that was a weird pick, because I even think Dylan Gabriel, Riley Leonard, Will Howard, I think all of them would have been better picks too. So there must be something there that they like.
Yeah.
But nobody else likes it, because I didn't hear anything good about it from anybody. No analyst.
Probably got booed when he got picked.
Really quick, did you see though when he got announced, his dog was like freaking out for him? And they were like, his dog was the most happy for him. He was like jumping up and stuff. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Justin, your boy Jack Besh to the Raiders. So they got Genty and Besh.
I'm a Chargers fan too.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Don't care for the Raiders, but when they're making moves like that and they're getting players I like to watch, I have to watch the Raiders. And but the minute those players are gone, I don't give a shit about the Raiders.
Here's the thing. As a Chargers fan myself, I skipped their second round pick, which was Trey Harris, and I like that pick.
Oh, the Chargers.
Yeah, a lot of Chargers fans in this room.
Yeah. What are you?
Nah.
You're nothing, right? Like
no.
you don't have
He's not nothing, dude. That's fucked up,
that's
man.
That's not how I meant it.
Oh.
You're no.
That's it. I'm hopping off, guys. Just kidding.
You're a fan of no specific.
Ooh, look at that run.
Oh wait, the Lions.
I grew up as a Cowboys fan, but they're unwatchable right now.
Would you have
literally unwatchable?
Would you have considered going back and watching the Cowboys again if they took Genty?
Oh, for sure.
I always said if the Chargers took Genty, I would forgive him for leaving San Diego.
I mean, if Jerry Jones sold the team, I'd probably buy my first jersey, but I won't buy my first jersey until he's not
I think we should wrap it up, but the last there's one I want to talk about.
I have a couple things I want to talk about.
You go ahead.
Okay.
You go ahead. You first.
One, did Oregon own this fucking draft? I swear, Oregon had a ton of players.
They had a player in almost every round.
Chargers got an
Oregon
player or two.
Damn near every team got an Oregon player. But I thought that was cool. Oregon had a lot of draft picks.
Yeah.
The Dylan Gabriel situation, I really like Dylan Gabriel. I hope that he has like an out. Maybe he can go get traded and like a package deal and get a chance, because I think he's better than a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just needs to go to the right place and get a chance.
Could you imagine if he went to the Raiders? Who's their quarterback?
Geno Smith.
Geno.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Ass.
Maybe they're just getting packages together and they can start trading off for pieces later on. I mean, they did get Shador for a fucking steal.
For a dime.
Also, Quinn Ewers is going in the 7th round to the Dolphins. I don't get it. I think he should have been drafted way higher.
Yeah.
It's cool that he went to the Dolphins because I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry, Aaron, if you're hearing this. I don't believe in Tua. I think, he's one more concussion away from just not being able to play anymore. But
he's more of like a stats player, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think they should have somebody on the back, ready to come in.
On the burner?
And Zach Wilson's not going to be him. Like, I don't even know why they picked up Zach Wilson. But
might as well put Braxton Berrios as the quarterback over Zach Wilson.
Yeah. But those were some things that I noticed in the draft. Overall, this draft was very interesting. It was
little
cool.
quinge.
It was a little quinge. Very cool. Oh, the Detroit Lions did take Ahmed Hassani from Boise State.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good spot for him because Dan Campbell's a really good defensive head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
and they're really good at developing draftees.
Yeah. So
like that Rodrigo guy.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that, this season when we're over at the family's house watching Lions games, we'll be seeing a lot of Hassani.
He has a really cool story.
Yeah. That's why he's the first Egyptian player ever drafted. So.
Anyway, this is what I want to talk about. New York Giants in the 4th round picking up your boy Cam Scattaboo.
Oh, yeah.
Scattabooch?
I think that's
the best running back in this draft class.
I think he should have gone a little higher, honestly, than that. But the Giants also, I feel like, got some pretty good picks this year. The Podcat's asleep.
Ding, 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 ding.
Look at the Podcat. Podcat done.
Scattabooch?
I like how she looks around the room with her eyes closed. Like, what are you looking at? Your eyes are closed. But she's looking from side to side, up and down. It's like, you can't see anything. She's not seeing the bullshit is what she's doing.
Have you guys seen your Fumblerooski commercial lately?
No, I haven't. Fumblerooski. Fumblerooski do. Oh, one more thing, actually. The only Mountain West wide receiver that I saw get drafted, because there was a few. I know Ricky White did. He went to the Seahawks, but he was like the 7th round, like late. But I think it was the 4th round. Jalen Royals from Utah State went to the Chiefs, which is great for him because he's, they're really, he has Patrick Mahomes and he's a very good wide receiver. So Patrick Mahomes, and then with his skill, I think he's going to be, in a couple of years, people are going to be talking about Jalen Royals. And it sucks because the Chiefs just got another really good wide receiver for the cheap, too.
And now let's talk about Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. Kobe Minor.
A minor?
Drake's favorite player. Anyway, not much to say about him, but he's Mr. Irrelevant.
What is his position?
Cornerback from Memphis.
Memphis. There were some teams this year that didn't have a lot of picks. I noticed Clemson. South Carolina had a ton of picks this year. Did you guys notice that too? South Carolina had a lot of defensive players.
Is that Aaron's?
Yeah. The Cox?
Yeah, Aaron's team.
I thought he was a Hawaii.
We all chose like bandwagon teams, and he was like, "Oh, like."
Is that when you chose LSU?
No, I chose LSU when I was born. Just kidding.
So who's your team? San Diego State, Boise State, or LSU? Come on, let's
I'm
put
more
you
of
on the hot mic right now.
I'm an equal opportunist for sports teams. I don't want any.
I only like the teams that are good at what they're good at.
I'm like
during the season they're good at.
I'm like my niece when I ask who her favorite uncle is. She's like, I don't pick favorites. I don't have a favorite. That's my thing. I don't have any favorites.
Or like how they brought Eminem back.
Yeah, they love Eminem.
You go, you're 20 years late, bro.
They are. Oh, man. All right. Well, anything else that you guys can think about that happened? I mean,
no, I think
I'm sure next week we're gonna have a lot more draft drama that's gonna start coming out. But overall, it was a weird draft, but it was good because the storylines were.
It was kind of like an unorthodox draft.
Yeah.
Didn't really know who the top guy was going to be until the very end. And
I'm actually excited. I'm not I like the NFL, but I'm not a huge NFL. Like I'll make sure to watch UFL football games before I watch NFL games. Like, I feel like I enjoy them more just because the NFL gets kind of boring after a while. But after this draft, I'm actually excited to watch a lot of these players because I watched a lot more of these players in college.
Yeah.
Over these last couple of years, I've been watching a lot more college sports. So it's going to be kind of cool finally seeing more of these guys trickle up and see who's really who.
And then four more months, and we are football time.
Yeah.
College football.
And coming in May, I think it was May 15th or something, the NFL schedule is releasing, so we can talk about that when that happens. They're going to have a bunch of international games. Like a ton.
Dude, that'd be sick to go watch an international game.
I know. We should go to the draft next year. No, we should go to the combine.
Where's it at next year, do you know?
I don't know. Boise, Idaho. On the blue turf. Let's see.
We do have an engagement at 1 o'clock.
All right.
It's pretty close to here, though, right?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Or we can go to the combine.
That would be dope.
It's free.
I know it is free. That's crazy.
It is?
That's
Yeah.
the best part.
Go for a week. It's a week long, right? But it's like a weekend.
Yeah, it's
like
like a
Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah, like 4 days.
Or Sunday.
3 or 4 days.
All right. Well, that's the show today. We got some stuff we got to do, but we should be pretty consistent again. It was just kind of busy the last couple of weeks with a lot of family stuff going on and Easter and holidays, but
don't quote me, but I've had diarrhea since Easter's. If you guys know, you know.
Oh. All right. Well, thank you for listening. You can find us on Spotify, the Overtime Network, on Amazon Music, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube at the Overtime Network, and then also follow us on X at the Overtime Net. Thank you. I'm your host, Justin, with Dawson.
Yo.
And Ian.
Sheesh.
And the pod kitty is sleeping, and so now we're going to get out of here. See ya.